Good morning, friends. Let's start our satsang today off with a prayer together. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, great gurus, Jesus Christ, Babaji Krishna, Layadi Mahashaya, Swami Sri Yukteswarji, beloved Master Paramahansa Yogananda Ji, saints of all religions, we bow at thy feet. Bless our class today with thy divine presence, with thy joy, with thy love, as we open ourselves ever more fully, ever more deeply to thee. Om Shanti Shanti. We'll have a song now and then an excerpt from a talk by Swami Kriyananda Ji. Welcome again, friends.
Come gather round, we'll sing the blues away. Dawn now is breaking, and the mountains say, it's only light can make the darkness run. Lift up your head, greet the rising sun. Greet the rising sun. Some people think to harvest happiness by weeding troubles, easing every stress. The trouble is that troubles never end. Get rid of one and you face its friend. And you face its friend. It's in your heart. The songs of joy resound. You'll hear but echoes in the world around. Wind on a hill sounds lonely if you're sad, free if you're free, cheerful if you're glad, cheerful if you're glad. Friends, come with me, we'll chant of battles won, shots not of anger, joy will be our gun. Before the light, the veils of sorrow rend, in inner freedom, all delusions end. All delusions end.
Very afternoon of that same day that I put Mother on the boat was when I discovered Autobiography of a Yogi. So I was completely free. There was nothing they could do. It was a real bombshell when they discovered what I'd done, but there they were in Cairo, and this wasn't the day of quick flights. And so, at any rate, I read that book, and it was so thrilling to me, because suddenly I felt that here is someone to whom I belong. I had never had that feeling before. I never felt a real sense that this person is mine, or this group of people is mine. And when I took that bus, it was, I think, the next day that I took the bus and came non-stop across the country, 4 days and 4 nights, and met Yogananda, and with God's grace he accepted me. And I remember that the first months living at Mount Washington, there was this constant sort of, as if you'd been a wanderer in the desert, getting more and more desperate in your thirst, and finally came upon an oasis. This is how I felt, living there among people who I recognized as mine. They were all mine. It wasn't just Yogananda, it was a family that I didn't need to build a sense of kinship with them, as you have to do usually in the world. And people come up with all sorts of extraneous reasons for being in tune. I mean, you meet a fellow Dodger fan and suddenly you're drinking buddies. And join fan clubs and all sorts of things that people will do to create a sense of kinship, but it's all sort of false. But sometimes, and this is how I felt there, that suddenly these were my people. I realized that life had finally, and for the first time really, become meaningful and joyful for me. I laughed all the time those days because it was such a joy just being there. And this is what I have found in this community here too, that many people have come and suddenly just known, I'm home. These are my people. How do we know it? I think that in our case here at Ananda, that we were in the astral world together and we decided that, or we were told to, whichever, but we knew that it was our job to start a community together. And I had to come in a generation ahead of most of you to get the experience to make it possible. But it's all just, it's such a marvelous thing to be with people that you feel completely comfortable with. This is spiritual family.
Welcome again, dear friends and family. I like to start with a brief reading from Jyotishji's, Nayaswami Jyotish's latest blog. As I write this, it's the 75th anniversary of Swami Kriyananda's meeting his guru. His first words that day were, "I want to be your disciple." This was his essence, and his life became a creative expression of that intention. Groups, too, have a core purpose. To a certain extent, the purpose of my life, moksha and guru seva, are shared by many who have been drawn to Ananda. Many of us feel that we have incarnated in order to find God and to help Paramahansa Yogananda and Swami Kriyananda with their mission in this age. There is a great power and grace that flows to those who stay attuned to this particular ray. My friends, I urge you to take some time to clarify your life's purpose. All else will follow naturally. This is a very special time. It's a time really of blessings, of grace flowing, of joy, of love, of feeling a part of Ananda's spiritual family through really our spiritual parents who are Nayaswami's Jyotishji and Deviji. They arrived late last night, or shall I say in the morning, and are here in this house where I'm staying, and they send you all their love. You'll be seeing them in person, you'll be seeing them online. They come every year, and they really bring the vibrations of our Guru and Swamiji, the teachings. Above all, they bring so much joy and the love of God, inspiration. They uplift everybody who they talk to and who they see. And so I hope you all will be able to participate in everything that happens or some of the events. I'd like to go through now just how you can deepen the experience of them being here. They were trained by Swami Kriyanandaji, as many of you know, and lived at Ananda and started Ananda basically for over 50 years. And were our spiritual directors worldwide of Ananda. And Jyotishji is Swamiji's spiritual successor. So over 50 years of Kriya, of teachings, of seva, of love for God, of being in tune, of helping other people, of outreach. This is what their life has been dedicated to. So first of all, how do we draw more from them? I would suggest that in the next 2 months, that you make it a spiritual renewal time for you. Not just the talk that's in Delhi or Chennai or wherever it may be, but see the whole 2 months. This is a time of spiritual upliftment, of spiritual attunement. There's a great power flowing. There's a lot of God's grace flowing. There are blessings that will come into your life. If you're sensitive enough and if you're attuned enough, you're open enough. And if you're magnetically drawing the blessings of this time, I think you will get a whole lot more. Come to the programs that are near you as you can, or most of them will be online as well, and you can participate. But do participate. Try to come to everything, not just the ones in my city, but just try to follow their schedule and try to come to every program. The schedule is on the website, and I hope you'll be able to participate. Secondly, be open to changes in your life. This is a time when a lot of blessings can change, attitudes can change, behaviors can. It's a time of purification, of getting rid of things that you don't need. As you come to the talks or watch them online, take notes and come prepared, not prepared, but afterwards, write down things that are attitudes you want to change or behaviors you want to change or whatever it is, but take action. Don't just be passive and say, oh, that's a wonderful talk, I enjoyed it. You probably don't remember the day after what they talked about or some days after, but take notes and say this, okay, they said this I want to introduce into my life, whatever it may be, more meditation or service or more a spirit of joy or harmony or being less negative or being more inspired or reading those lessons more. There's so many things, but take action. Don't just be a passive observer, and you will find that you'll get much more. And I'm not meaning just the talk in your area, but wherever they may be, whatever talk you're listening to, just feel, okay, they're talking to me. What is it that I can get from this and integrate into my life now? Thirdly, pray to Master and Swamiji and all the gurus to answer your questions, any difficulties, problems you're having right now, challenges. And I'll say this first of all, when we would go to Swamiji's satsangs, and not just in the US, but here in India at our ashram in Gurgaon, many people said, we'd sit there, Swamiji would be giving the satsang, and you'd have a question in your mind and he would answer it. You didn't even have to raise your hand and ask the question. So just mentally just put that mental thought out to be guided in a particular way, to be challenged, to be uplifted, to be helped, to put your problems out or whatever it is, put it to Master and to Swamiji and just feel that, okay, they are going to answer my questions and help me during this time when this grace is flowing like a big wave of inspiration and energy and power from God and gurus. And so here again, don't passively receive, but put your thoughts out in the ether and ask the masters to help you, to guide you, to answer your questions during this particular time and guide your life in specific ways, not just generally and overall. Use this as a time, and I'm saying the next couple of months, they'll be here until the end of November, to deepen your practices, deepen your meditation, study the teachings. You'll feel so much inspiration that you'll naturally want to chant more, go to satsang more, all these various things that you normally would do. Maybe you have a longer meditation once a week during this time. Set goals for yourself and dive more deeply into the teachings during this time when there's a lot of blessings flowing. You'll receive so much more. You might find your meditations deepen, that as you're listening to chants or playing chants or whatever, that is really opening your heart and you feel Master coming inside. And so use the time also to go deeper and focus in your practices. Another is offer service, seva, wherever the programs may be in your city. Ask how you can help. There must be something that you can do. And at that particular center, all the Gurubhais, the center members, should be there helping, participating, bringing the prasad, setting up the center, doing the whatever has to be done with the website, promotions. There's so many things that need to happen. And we need to participate and be a part of the energy that's happening now. And so another wonderful way to serve in this way is to tell a friend. Tell a friend about Jyotishji and Deviji. I have one book here. We'll be showing you others of their books in a moment, but maybe get a book of Jyotishji and Deviji's and share it with a friend, or share the link for the program that's going to be online. Let them know about the teachings, let them know about the level 1 classes, what are master's teachings and various things like that. Meaning reach out beyond yourself and just think, wow, my friend or somebody I know would be so blessed to receive the blessings flowing now at this particular time. And so just here again, feel inside, who can I help? Who can I share this with? Who can I invite to the program? There may not be room for everybody in the centers, but as for sure online, they'll be able to participate. So think about that as well. Jyotishji and Deviji also have a weekly blog. It's been over 10 years, I believe they said. And in the books that you're going to see in a moment, the blogs, their writings are there. So people, you can tell people about their weekly blogs as well. Okay, so finally, see this whole time as a spiritual renewal. I said this earlier, but more specifically, feel that now is a time of purification, a time of letting go, a time of self-offering, a time of burning up karma, of releasing karma, a time of expansion, a time of deepening, a time of greater attunement, a time of more inspiration. Just feel at Ananda Village, we have every year a spiritual renewal week. It's been going for 50 years. And during that week, there are talks of inspiration, there's music, there are kirtans, there's a variety of activities and events going to uplift the spirit, to renew, to recharge, to be more in attunement with our path and our teachings. So see this time as very, very special. It's not, we have Jyotishji and Deviji here a couple of months right now out of the year. It will end up being longer and longer, but during this time that we have them, really tune in. Even if you're not there, attune your consciousness to the ray of Master's blessings that are coming through these great souls that lived with Swami Kriyanandaji, that served at Ananda all these years, and that are here in India. They're a part of our India family. And so attune yourself, and I'm sure that you will feel the great blessings that are flowing now. God bless you all. I'll ask Natendra to join me on the screen now, and you can show the books, and then we have some questions.
Yes, Dhyanaji.
You can see here some of Jyotishji and Deviji's writings. You may want to get for yourself or for others who you know. They also received the Global Ambassador Peace Award from the United Nations for all of their seva in Ananda. Okay, thank you, Natendra.
Yeah. Yes, Dhyanaji. And this is the blog. We have put the link of the blog on the chat as well.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so now the questions?
Yes, Dhyanaji. The first one is, what are the benefits of being in a spiritual family?
Well, joy, spiritual progress, satsang with other people who are like-minded, that give you energy and magnetism. You may be feeling down and you go in the group. I know this happens a lot. You just go into the center here, centers here in India, wherever around the world of Ananda, and you feel uplifted. You could go in with problems and difficulties. You go in, the guru bhais are there, the energy is so high, the chanting is high, and you feel that's your family. And your family, each one is helping the other magnetically, energetically, positively through thoughts, praying for each other. So the spiritual family is your base, your foundation. And anything that happens in your life, and karma comes, karmic bombs come, who's going to support you? And who supports you is those who are in your spiritual family. So maybe your physical, biological family supports you as well, surely, but your spiritual family is huge. I remember my mother came to Ananda village a couple of times, but she said, if I had one friend like all these friends that you have, I would be happy. And I said, Mom, it's a spiritual family. We all help each other. One person's having a hard time, everybody helps them. Someone's ill in the hospital, people take time, turns, and go and be with that person. Someone has just lost a loved one or whatever, and they're kind of down. So many people help each other. Someone in the community's just had a given birth. People there's a whole list of people who sign up to bring the meals for the family for a month or so. So spiritual family is support. It's spiritual encouragement. It's positivity. It's helping us all like a big wave to move forward together. I tried by myself, but it just didn't work. I mean, I wasn't making the progress that I made while I was in the spiritual family. And the spiritual family also means our gurus, that they're supporting us. Swamiji is supporting us, as well as everybody else who we know and those who we don't know who are praying for us. We have healing prayer lists going all throughout Ananda's world, all around the globe. And so spiritual family is essential. People think they can get there on their own. They just go straight to master and he's going to talk with them directly. Well, you can try, but the mind is tricky. You can think you know, but I've gone to people I respect and who I know have wisdom when I want to make big decisions. And I ask them. Sometimes I've been right. A lot of times I've been wrong. So if you want to go through all those wrong times, just because you want to be on your own, you can try. But best to be with people who are on the path longer than you, even to meditate together. I mean, not even, definitely to meditate together. You just feel uplifted. A new person can go in a room with people who've been meditating for dozens of years, and they think they're doing it all, but it's from the magnetism of the group. We would sit with Swamiji and meditate, and whoa, that was quite a meditation. And it was very powerful. And so the vibrations of somebody like Jyotishji and Deviji, you've been on the path 50 years. Do you know anybody? I mean, really, do you know anybody stuck with anything for 50 years? It's quite something. And so to have practiced Kriya and done energization every day and had satsangs, given classes, work with their attitudes and behaviors, serve people, reached out to people and their parents and grandparents, and to integrate your life, that's quite a feat. So the other part about spiritual family is it's like a living laboratory. You can see what works and what doesn't work. You can see the people who are really serving and putting out energy selflessly. You can see, okay, look at those people. They're happy. They're growing. People say, no, I don't want to do anything. I just came here to meditate. And you can just look at their faces. They don't look good. They're not growing as rapidly. So spiritual family also gives you a living laboratory. And the other thing it really does, it protects you. You know, Master said, have spiritual bodyguard with you wherever you go. And so, you know, and the spiritual family, you have a lot of people around you. And if they see you going in the wrong direction, they're going to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, what's wrong with you? What happened? You can't hide in a spiritual family. And I remember I didn't want people to know much about me when I first came. Not that there was anything to even know, but I just was so private. I remember one time we had a meeting, it's a house meeting in one of the small ashrams in the early days of Palo Alto. And I just moved in. I was so independent. And there were maybe 7 people who lived there. So they were having a meeting, house meeting, and I couldn't go. I didn't want to go, basically, but I wanted to go see a friend. So they said, "Oh, how come you can't come to the meeting? Why don't you join us?" And I said, "No, I have another engagement." "Well, what is it?" And I just thought, why are they asking me where I'm going? It's my own business. And I said, "Well, that's personal." And they said, "Well, what if something happens to you? We don't know where you are." And I still didn't want to say. And then finally, one wonderful soul, Seva, she was at Ananda over 50 years. She said, "Dhyana, we love you. What if something happens? We need to know where you're at. And I just melted. Then I said, "Okay, I'll tell you." It wasn't a big deal, but the family protects you and they love you. The other thing you get from spiritual family, love. Where do you get that love? Where do you get it? I mean, where do you get those blessings or your guru bhais helping you? Everybody helps everybody. And I would say, next to having Master and Swamiji, the gurus, and the teaching, spiritual families, the next greatest blessing of a lifetime. And true friends, dharmic friends. Nobody's cheating and lying and all of that. It's like people who live a clean life. I mean, what a blessing to be with such souls, high souls. And finally, it's people we've been together before. It's obvious. You meet somebody, Master said, from the eyes, you can tell if the person, if you knew them from a past life. The body might be changed, the hair might be changed, the color of skin might be changed, but you can just look in their eyes and you can see. I met so many people. I came here and I just saw, "Oh, yeah, I know this." Oh, I'm sure you had the same. So that was a long answer, but it might have answered all the questions. Is there anything else?
Yes, Dhanaji, we do have a couple more questions.
Okay.
The next one is, if I'm new to Ananda or if I'm a new Kriyaban, then do I also have responsibilities as part of being in this wonderful family?
Totally. When you have to give to receive, if you just are like a sponge and just give me, it just doesn't work. And here again, I've seen it in people. And you would get to Ananda, Swamiji immediately gave you things to do. You didn't wait till you have to be here 12 years before you can bring some prasad. He would just bring it. Here, help me. But you heard Jyotishji's story that he got to Swamiji's house, he knocked on the door, he met him. This was in San Francisco before Ananda was even started. He knew Swamiji, and Swamiji said, "I'm working on a project. Would you like to help me?" And Jyotishji just said he didn't realize it was a project for life. And that, and so yeah, it's this is the way it is. And everybody should have some way to serve. And that's how you feel a part of the family, isn't it? If you say, "No, I'm on the sidelines," you just don't feel a part. But when I was in Gurgaon last weekend, I just was so, you all are doing such a wonderful job. I just was so happy to see the joy level of seva. People, everybody bringing something for prasad. The table was just packed, and people bringing flowers or whatever. It's people setting up the chairs. This makes me the happiest, and they do it with such joy. I'm sure all the centers do, but the person has made a special dish, and I don't know a lot of the people, but they made it with love, and I can tell. And so what happens? You feel a part of the same family because everybody's helping to make it happen. And when that happens, it's just, you feel like you could just sort of lift up off your feet and levitate at one point. I won't do that today, but maybe next week, tune in. No, I'm just kidding. But you just feel so happy inside when all around you is joy, not just one person trying to get everybody to be joyful, but everybody's feeling uplifted, no?
Absolutely, Dhyanaji. One last question to finish, Dhyanaji. So the way we attune to Master through Swamiji's books, music, and talks, and so on, can we also relate to Swamiji through Jyotishji and Deviji's presence?
I don't see who else would be there. Master and Swamiji are coming to us through them. And it's not Jyotish and Deviji. It's not their personality and their likes and dislikes. If they have any more left, it's not that. It's their channels. And any teacher is of Ananda for sure is trying to open up to be a channel for Master and for Swamiji. So yes, you can tune in to the others to Master, to Swamiji, through Jyotish and Deviji, and you can hear it. I mean, when you hear their wisdom, the answers to their questions. I mean, I heard Swamiji for decades. That's what he would say. When I see their things that they do and they make decisions, I saw what Swamiji would do. He would do that. In different things that they do. You just see it. Nobody's there but Master and Swamiji. And how do I know that? Because I saw Swamiji. I saw him. I was with him. I heard him. I heard his talks. I saw him make decisions. I saw him working with people. And what they do is what he did. They didn't come and say, now we're taking over and whatever Swamiji did, we're not going to do that. We've got our own way. No way. And they were with him all the time for 5 decades. Or however many, up to 5. I mean, they were with him all the time. They were with him, not all day long, but you understand, every day. Every day they were. Unless he was in seclusion, he had them with him. Why? Many reasons, but one, he was training them to do what they're doing now. So Master trained Swamiji, Swamiji trained Jyotish and Deviji. And he not only trained them, he gave them the power to do what they're doing. It's not, let's vote on who's going to be the successor. Swamiji appointed. He appointed Jyotishji and Deviji as spiritual director as well. They worked together. But it was divinely ordained that they do what they're doing. And I would have to say they're doing a beautiful job. They do it with love, devotion, joy, selflessness, humor. It's not stiff and stale and you must do this, you must do that. It's just how Swamiji was. And that's why we feel so uplifted and so happy. I was at the airport last night for some hours just because their flight was late and all, but we didn't get home till 4 a.m. But I felt so happy. I just didn't feel tired. When I saw their faces, I just felt so happy. What is the happiness from? It's God's joy. So they're not just people visiting. They are carrying the vibrations of our gurus, of Swamiji. And the more you open up in these next couple of months, the more of that you will not only feel, but that you will receive, and that will change your whole life. God bless you all. Thank you, Natindra.